Hello friends, in this video I am going to explain the concept of beta and how it is to be used in stock valuation or calculating the expected rate of return from the securities. The topics will be covered: what is the meaning of beta and basic concept around it, how do we calculate beta by using a formula, what is unlevering and relevering beta, how do we do that, and how can we find out beta of public listed companies or private companies easily. So let's understand the basic concept first. Beta is a measure of volatility or systematic risk of a security or a portfolio as compared to the market as a whole. So we can say the market can be considered as indicative market index or a basket of universal assets. So for example, S&P 500 could be market, or any stock exchange index could be the indicative market index. And what is the security, specific security risk vis-a-vis that market index risk is basically the beta. So beta coefficient of an asset I is the covariance of return on asset I with the market portfolio return divided by the variance of the market portfolio. So symbolically, we can say beta I equals covariance between security I and market divided by the variance of the market. Or we can alternatively show it like this: the coefficient correlation between security I and market times sigma I, that is the standard deviation of return of asset I, divided by the standard deviation of the market return. So here covariance Ri and Rm is equal to the covariance of return asset I with the market. Variance Rm is the variance of the market return, and correlation Im is the correlation between return on asset I and the market return. Sigma I is the standard deviation of return on asset I, and sigma m is the standard deviation of return on market index. So this is very important formula to remember how to calculate beta in financial terms. If you have the standard deviation of the market and standard deviation of the security and correlation between the two. So overall market has a beta of 1 because it's a combination of various securities. So market will always have a beta of 1, and beta of 1 for the security means that the stock has the same level of risk as that of market. So it does mean that the stock will move in the same direction or with the same degree as percentage of stock market movement. So if stock market moves up by, let's say, 5%, the stock price will also move up by 5%. If stock markets goes down, index goes down by 7%, the respective stock price also will go down by 7%. So that means there is a beta of 1. A higher beta greater than 1 represents that the asset is more riskier than the market, and beta of less than 1 represents the asset is less riskier than the market. So for example, if the asset beta is 2, that would mean that it will rise or fall twice as much as the market. So if the market is falling by 5%, the stock will fall by 10% because beta is 2. So it has 2 times variability compared to the market. Whereas if market goes up by 5%, stock will go by, this particular stock will go by 10% because it has a 2 times variability compared to the market. So a higher beta means higher variability vis-a-vis the market. A lower beta means lower variability vis-a-vis the market. So although beta provides a single measure to understand the volatility of an asset with respect to the market, however, it does not remain constant with time. So depending on the period for which you are calculating the beta or the covariance between the two, the asset and the market, the beta will keep on changing. So ideally, longer the period of data set you take to calculate the beta, better it is. Otherwise, the conclusions drawn from short-term data may sometimes be misleading or no, may not be accurate. So the beta of a portfolio is calculated as the weighted average of each component's beta. So whatever is the number of assets in a portfolio, if you simply multiply by the weight of that asset in that portfolio with the respective beta of that asset, we can calculate the weighted average beta of the portfolio. Now let's understand the concept of unlevering and relevering the beta. What is unlevering and relevering? So normally when we calculate the beta from the market, it is always a levered beta because the market has both debt and equity component in it. Therefore, the capital structure or the beta calculated by the capital structure of the market securities always comprises of the weightage of debt and equities. However, when a company has zero debt, or that means it has 100% equity, it is called an unlevered company. So how to calculate the beta of that company? So we can convert the levered beta into unlevered beta simply by using a mathematical formula, which I will be showing just now. That because the debt portion is 0 and equity portion is 100%, so what we have to do, that from the levered beta we have to remove the effect of debt. So basically the effect of debt, either beneficial effect or detrimental effect of debt, has to be removed from the capital structure or removed from the beta to isolate it, the risk of debt from that, and the remaining beta will only represent the risk solely associated with the company's equity, and that stripping off the debt effect from the levered beta we can simply do by this formula. Here Bu is the beta of unlevered beta equals to levered beta divided by 1 plus debt equity ratio times 1 minus marginal tax rate. So here Bu is the unlevered beta and Bl is the levered beta. Now if we have to relever, so unlevered beta, where it is used, unlevered beta is almost equal or lower than the levered beta, given that the debt will most often be either 0 or positive. In very rare occasions you will find that company has a debt component negative or it has a surplus cash in its balance sheet. So that times theoretically the unlevered beta can potentially be higher than the levered beta also. So if unlevered beta is positive, investors will invest in the company's stock when stock market is expected to rise, because the stock market, when stock market rise, and if you have your company's securities beta is positive or not negative, then it will also rise in the same direction with the market. So investors will tend to invest in those companies whose beta is high in case they expect stock market index to rise, because with zero debt in the company there is nothing to no risk of debt default. So that's why investors tend to prefer those stocks which have a high beta. A negative or unlevered beta will prompt investors to invest in stocks when the stock market is expected to decline, because when stock market declines and if your company's beta is negative, that means your stock price will be positive movement. So when investors in general feels that market is expected to decline, that time they prefer to buy those stocks which have negative beta. So how do we relever the beta? It's very simple. A company which has some debts in the capital structure is called levered company. The higher the debt equity ratio of the company, normally the levered beta becomes higher, because the debt higher debt equity ratio means the company has high leverage, and that adds to the unsystematic risk of the company. So to calculate the levered beta from the unlevered beta, we just need to multiply the unlevered beta by a factor of 1 plus debt equity ratio, and a factor of 1 minus marginal tax rate. So symbolically we can say like this: beta levered equals to unlevered beta times 1 plus debt equity times 1 minus marginal tax rate. So here we can depict this formula in this way. This is formula for unlevered beta equals to levered beta divided by 1 plus debt equity times 1 minus marginal tax rate, and levered beta is just reciprocal of that, where we can say levered beta equals to unlevered beta times 1 plus debt equity times 1 minus marginal tax rate. So the next is, how do we find the beta of public companies which are listed or private companies? If we don't want to go through this exercise of using formula, compiling their historical data, so there are various ways and means. So if the target company is a listed company, we can easily get their beta from Bloomberg's website. Bloomberg has a database of various public listed companies in various countries. And however, if the company is a private company where we could not get the historical database from Bloomberg, then there is a website which is mentioned here, the A. Damodaran website, where we can get the beta of similar companies, similar listed public listed companies, and from that comparable listed companies beta, we can first convert the above beta into unlevered by using the formula which I had explained earlier, and then take the average of unlevered beta of such comparable companies, and then use that average unlevered beta and apply the target company's debt equity structure to calculate the levered beta again using the formula which I explained earlier. So with this, we will be able to find out the beta of public or private companies without, if we don't have sufficient data, historical data to calculate using our formula. Thank you. And related to financial management, other statistical concept, I have created some more videos, so you can look at that. And if you like it or want to have an interactive session to understand any concept in more detail, you can contact me on my email ID as shown below, dugat.shanti68@gmail.com. Thank you. Bye.